Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Magia Record episode 4. Episode 4 in which we don't know what's going to happen. We can kinda sorta have an idea because of how episode 3 ended, more or less. It's more about the after credits scene, and I see my camera is a little bit too dark, probably. I think this should be slightly better and a little bit warmer. Why not? 4500 Kelvin. Okay. So, what happened in the previous episode? Not much, honestly, quantity-wise and story-wise. Because plenty happened when it comes to, like, world building and stuff, but all in all, there were basically one semi-significant event and one significant event. The semi-significant event was enlisting the help of Yachiyo, which was the first half of the episode. And the second half of the episode was the fight with the chain witch? Question mark. So again, as you can see, quantity-wise, not much has happened, but that question mark does a lot. Because when it comes to the world and to the characters, quite a lot has happened, actually. Chronologically, we learned that apparently there is a way to have your soul gem modified or tuned or something to that effect, which most probably is just the gacha mechanic. But since it was brought over to the show as well, I assume it's gonna be relevant sooner or later, maybe. Hasn't been so far. I don't think Iroha had her gem modified, although it was proposed. Although she was offered to have her gem modified. Next important thing that happened was henshins. Henshins, of course, for the first time in this show, we got to see some really complex and, henshins with a lot of flair. Usually Madoka henshins are... Maybe I'm gonna place it here or something. Usually Madoka henshins are very similar to the, early Sailor Moon henshins, when you just see the silhouette lit up in a color specific to that given character, and then the silhouette changes shape, boom, sparkles, glow, and it's done. Now, in the previous episode, we've seen henshins from Iroha, Yachiyo, Kaede, and... why the fuck do Tsukuyo and Tsukasa look the... Okay, they're sisters, so probably neither of them. And the other one, I don't know, there's so many fucking characters, I've no clue who's who. And the other one got their henshins, and they actually had sequences of pieces of gear flying in and attaching themselves to the hand, or some bow sprouting up, and some additional interesting, with more or less witchy visuals accompanying those. Henshins definitely much more in line with those of Symphogear rather than with those of Madoka Magica, the main series. Not quite Symphogear levels. Symphogear is on a completely another level, so make no mistake, but definitely going in the direction of more complex henshins. That's actually a good question, by the way, to you guys. What other shows there are that have henshins, maybe not on par with Symphogear, but going in that direction with like a ton of shit flying in and very gradual, granular transformation rather than just a silhouette of color, blink, and henshin done. I've been wanting to watch Precure whenever time allows, and I wonder how are henshins in Precure, for example. I don't know, you guys let me know. Maybe there's some shows that have even crazier henshins than Symphogear, who's to say. Okay, the next thing, very important, similarly, is that apparently that witch wasn't a witch. Or it was a very strange witch because it didn't drop a grief seed. And we know that witches drop grief seeds. Their thralls or familiars or whatever they are called, they don't drop grief seeds. But this was as powerful as a witch, and it had all of the traits of a witch. So, is there a huge witch that makes small witches as her thralls? Or are those witches who were somehow relieved of their grief seed without destroying them? Kamihama City is mysterious. It is a mysterious place, so anything goes at this point. And of course, we can't forget about the after credits scene, where we see Mami alive and well, apparently. So the action of Magia Record is probably taking place in some sort of an alternate reality, alternate timeline or something, rather than the reality of Madoka Magica proper, quote unquote. I have to do this. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. Right, so it's probably a different reality, or it is pre-Madoka Magica show. Magia Record is a prequel, sidequel kind of thing. Although, judging by seeing all of the Madoka Magica main series characters being shown in the list of characters, it's probably some sort of a parallel universe, parallel reality. Which begs the question, is it a post-Madoka alternate reality? It cannot be. Because in a post-Madoka alternate reality, they wouldn't be fighting witches. They would be fighting whatever they are called. I forgot what they were called after Madoka Magica ended. Something else, not witches anymore. So it's pre-Madoka deification, but a parallel timeline, I think. Which is interesting to think about because there was a new key visual and trailer for the new Madoka Magica movie, Walpurgisnacht something, and I guess spoilers if you don't want to know that. As usual, I'm gonna hold up my hand and then put it down when I'm done with spoilers. Spoilers for the key visual because I haven't seen the trailer. There is 2 Homuras. So that makes me wonder if perhaps one of them is an arrival from a different timeline. Or perhaps there's gonna be a situation of Homuras from old timelines versus Demon Homura, which would be a dope idea, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Winter 2024. Hopefully by that time I will be done with Magia Record. Then again, Winter 2024 is the release in theaters in Japan, so until it makes it over here to the west, to our side of the world, it's going to take a while. Right, so that's about episode 3. What about today's episode? I don't know. Magia Record has been fairly episodic so far. it was pretty much just episode 2 and 3 that had some sort of a connection with each other. But that mini arc was concluded, essentially, so now we are starting a new arc, the Mami arc, I'm gonna call it tentatively. So I guess my only expectation is that Mami will make her appearance. And that's basically it. Mami will appear, and whatever else happens, I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. I think that is better, actually. Oh, that was sharpness. I wanted to bring saturation a little higher. There we go. That's better. Is it? It is. I think the color is more accurate. Whatever. I'm spending time fiddling with camera instead of recording the actual the actual episode. So, without further ado, let's start watching it. To do that, to watch episode 4 with me, you will need your subs to follow along with me. I'm going to need my sound to hear what's going on, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 4 of Magia Record in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I was afraid there's no sound. But no, there is. Iroha wants some fried chicken. Oh, it's in English. I forgot that it's a multi-track version. Aren't you closed? And that is Tsuruno, right? I see her. She's very similar to Kaede, and Toka, and Manaka. So another character that will be not easy to recognize. But she's at the top of the list, so I will know who she is, I think. So we are really looking at a wide cast of characters, aren't we? Like, I know from the list of characters, obviously, but I thought we will spend a little bit more time with Rena, Kaede, and Sana, Mayu. I know, the blue one, but not Yachiyo, the other blue one. I wonder, do arcs in this anime kind of coincide with arcs or perhaps even events in the gacha? Like, this is a story that was added to the game when Tsuruno's banner was added or something. You have nobody like that, I assume? Yeah. To your non-existent sister. And what is that? That looks cool. And we are still hanging around. Okay. Okay, so they were all retrieved, reappeared. Okay. I mean, it didn't have a grief seed, so... Is she eating cheesecake with ketchup? What? Yeah. She. Right, def. What is she adding to the cheesecake? Sprinkles and a meatball? I don't know. Oh, so that's the hook. That's the plot line. Looking for all sorts of different weird occurrences in hopes that perhaps one of them was what disappeared Ui. Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Also, some really nice music. Yeah. Her lack in the photos would be a proof enough, I'd say. I mean, nobody takes a photo like that, right? With just themselves. Okay, so they will hang around. Is it just a random restaurant? Okay, is it like a Mahou Shoujo armory or something? You go there, you show them the flyer, they open the back wall, and it's like wands and staves and bows and shit. That looks nice. That looks really nice. Magical girls use a lot of energy after all. I could go for some fried rice right now. I had a really nice steak today, though. Just say 5. What? Okay, that's harsh. Why is this harsh? Okay. Okay. But she ate it all. Okay, so nothing bad, nothing super special, your average diner that's palatable for everybody. Okay, that's also a brand to have, absolutely. Of course, call me Tsurino. Drop the honorifics. Do we got ourselves a friend? Someone who deals with disappearances or something? Okay, that was easy. And who is she? A Miko, I assume. Oh, Yachiyo. Hello. Fancy seeing you here. Why are those wheels inside of that cafe? I don't know, but it looks cool, so I guess that's the purpose. Or is it just a reflection? I don't know, doesn't matter. Yeah, are there any rumors about disappearances? Okay, so she has a whole book of urban legends? Okay, well, that's gonna be useful. If it works, it's gonna be incredibly useful. Of course, there has to be some downside. Of course. Possibly. They had enough time to tweet once and then they were whisked away. Okay, so the wheels are inside. I mean, it is a shrine. And Yachiyo came out of there, so okay. Not that simple after all. Do you actually have someone you want to reunite with, though? Because that was a very big key for the previous previous event. The wish had to be sincere. Sincere and real. Fortunes? Fortunes. Oh no, an ARG, essentially. Well, not really, more like a, yeah, tourism thing. Sure, let's go for a trip. And the first stop was brothel. Okay. There's the wheels again. Souvenir shop. Whomst. But lo, he was a zombie. Oh? Is it a legend if it has a true ending? Hmm. So, let's kill everybody in Kamihama and get Ui back. That's what I'm hearing. Why? And what happened? You caught the bitch virus or something? It's the lack of the present. Exactly. That is true. Let's get your soul gem modified. Let's pour some premium currency into your skill cards or something. Yep, where you started. True. True. But how many of them are written with the intention of finding that person? In the back of this shrine, somewhere in the forest, probably? Perhaps in the forest behind the school? That's usually where the strangest shrines are, right? Oh, she likes this mascot? Are we about to experience some Gapmoe? A sail? Okay, she lives on her own, so she uses all sorts of sails. Okay, gotcha. She's resourceful, if anything. Uh, uh, okay, a witch is coming. Yeah. Henshin and fast. In a box of cereals. Full henshin? No. Just directly. Candy. Yeah, don't run in blindly. No, you can't. You know that Kamihama witches are strong. And you don't have that much experience. Not gonna be that easy. Oh, why is there a pelvis inside? Where is Tsuruno? She hasn't been... And there she is. And she fights with flame fans. Bonus damage against paper-based witches. Oh, she can power up by touching other Mahou Shoujos, or what's going on here? Easy. Yeah, you're still not strong enough, Iroha. And your gem is getting darker and darker. You're gonna need some grief seeds and fast. Something about limited time? Maybe the shrine works but only at night? Here's the dragonflies in like so many different shots. I wonder what's the significance of them, if any. Yep. So it only works at night, indeed. Just casually. Okay, just casually jumping the wall. I guess they don't have to worry about, like. Oh, hello, juvenile. And the others can see it as well. That's good. I was afraid that it's only Iroha who can see him. Write your wishes. Yeah. Oh, they have a friend who went missing. Are we going to see who Yachiyo mentions? We're not. Okay, so if you go there and don't write any names, then you also get attacked. What is that? That's the wish plaque shape. Ui? Or no ui? No, just a labyrinth. And Yachiyo sees me for you. Okay, their friend. And ui. But she wasn't returned. Okay, so it allows you to see your loved ones, but doesn't, like, bring them back. That's what I'm getting. Okay. And now I have to raise questions, who the fuck is me for you? Probably a friend of Yachiyo and Tsuruno, who was killed during their battles with witches? Or otherwise went missing? Something along those lines? No, if she was killed, she would be turned into a witch. So that can be it. And it's not like she can be killed by a truck or something, because it's her gem that holds her soul, and it's not as easy to destroy. Has her soul gem been destroyed? Because that's about the only way you can kill a magical girl and not have her turn into a witch. Curious. And nothing after credits. Okay, so I was wrong. No Mami. Not yet, at least. Okay, so while we are waiting for Mami, let's watch this episode again, shall we? Again, all things considered, not really that much has happened. Tsuruna is punching some meat, which really made me expect that she's gonna be a brawler, but she uses fans, which I guess is fine. Chinese kitchen banzai. OP, OP, OP. Okay, talking about friends. Stubborn ass, stuck up bitch, selfish, sour bitch face, crybaby, useless pretender, always annoying. Who is it referring to? I don't know. Iroha? I somehow doubt it. And of course, she never really had any friends. Any of the sort she mentions. Not a friend she always ends up with, like Kaede, I think. Kaede and Rena, which is signified by this this booth. Not someone you look up to. I've no clue who those two tables signify. Friend who's not really a friend. Yeah, she doesn't have anybody like that either. Crab search? Sure. My memory is full of holes. Biscuits, chips, crumpy caramel snack, potato, chocolate and milk variety mix, French fries who have gone cold and stale, and the fucking cheesecake that she pours ketchup on. Yeah, if it wasn't a witch, then what was it? This and what's this fucking string that she's holding? Oh, I know what it is. It's a candy, isn't it? It's like a string of like jelly, like gummy bears, and it's coated in sugar. That's why the sparkles. Yeah, okay, I know what it is. I thought that she might be holding some, I know, Mahou Shoujo accessory or something, a piece of gear you have to equip your characters with, or you know, something like that. But no, it's just candy, usually sour. Right, seeing a glimpse of your future. Let's go back. I wanna see this cheesecake getting massacred. It's cheesecake, isn't it? It's not like a deep dish pizza or something. And it's not strawberry sauce either, it is ketchup. Is that a running gag in the game that she eats the weirdest things? And then some sprinkles. Although it wouldn't surprise me if it was corn, cubed carrots, and red beans. And she places a wad of chewed out bubble gum or a meatball or something like that on top. Okay. Also, very nice, eating habits. It's all snacks. They're not even eating pizza or anything. No, it's just literally candy and chips and snacks. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess Kaede, being the only responsible one, actually has some bento and milk or water or something, but everybody else just eats potato chips and fucking ketchup cheesecake. Kyuubey said it wasn't the work of a witch, so it was the work of some sort of a phenomenon. Although, that begs a question. Aren't all phenomena like that caused by witches? Staircase of Severance was caused by witches, and I see that the sun has fallen, and I'm really, really, really orange right now. That's better. I almost turned into the former US president for a moment there. Okay. Right, aren't all of those phenomena the work of witches? So, Kyuubey says that it wasn't the work of a witch, but the Staircase of Severance was the work of a witch. This thingamajig with the shrine. Now, granted, we don't know that yet for sure, but there's a lot of witchy imagery around it, so wouldn't surprise me if it was caused by a witch. Whether that witch has a grief seed or not, that's like a completely different matter. But still the work of a witch, supposedly. So yeah, we have our hook. And honestly, aren't those photos a proof of someone else existing there? Like, okay, the bottom 3 photos, sure, you might be just, you know, standing in that 2/3 position or whatever it's called, or 1/3 on the side. You want to show some pretty views besides just yourself, so you frame yourself, or someone frames you in this way. Absolutely believable. But the pose on the photo to the right, when she clearly is holding someone by their shoulders, or holding some cape, or some, I don't know, something to cover someone's shoulders, right? And the photo on the very left, where she literally has her hand on someone's shoulder, but that someone is missing. Those are proofs enough, at least to me. And the photo up top, she also has her hand on someone's hip, or around the, you know, the torso area at least. Those 3 are proofs enough to me that there used to be someone else in those photos, but isn't. Why not try and sketch her? And we have a sketch of Kaede. No, it's Rena. No, it's Kaede. Spiky hair, so Rena, but balls in her hair, so Kaede. But a big bow, so probably Rena. I don't know, it's someone. And we get some help. That's cool. Banbanzai Mitama. That looks nice. Really, really nice. It's been a while since I've eaten fried rice, and I really could go for some fried rice. Maybe I'm gonna order some tomorrow or something. I don't know. Maybe. Tsureno Yui. What do we have here? A big bowl of ramen with 3 big slices of chashu, a couple of nori. It seems like a single Naruto slice. What's in the upper right? Is it tamago? I think it's like sliced omelette and some chives or something up top. Not many additions, but you don't always need the whole thing with egg and whatnot. Fried rice with egg, I assume beef. Something that looks like shredded Naruto, and some greens. To the right, a classic salad with carrots, onion or radish, and some brown things. And I don't know. It looks like the mushroom. What's it called? What's it called in English? Chanterelles. Yeah, looks kind of like chanterelles, but I assume it's supposed to be like fried chicken or something like that, or tempura chicken. Go on, have a bite. Lucky star. Now offering a special discount for magical girls. They aren't really hiding with it, are they? It's normal, just 2.5. Glass half full, yeah. Strong, consistent, so every time you go to Banbanzai, you get the exact same flavor, you always do. It's not, something super spicy, it's not something super heavily flavored, but you can take your little cousins and your elderly grandma to this place and they will also eat it. And it's not going to be a problem to them. Places like that are very valuable as well, of course. Yeah, balanced dishes that land at solid 2.5 stars. I wonder why did the coordinate also haha funny numbers. Are those really in the original 690 and 420? Are those actually in the original here, or is it just the typesetter having a giggle? Actually, let me turn off the subtitles. No, they seem to be there. Okay. So it's not the subtitle creators having a laugh. I wonder why was Iroha referred to this shop honestly by the coordinator. The coordinator could have just as easily called up Yachiyo without really much of an issue. Although maybe the line of thought was that with Tsuruno it will be easier to convince Yachiyo to help. Possibly. Do we know who she's calling on her screen? No, we don't. We meet again. And there's apparently a shrine where you pray if you want to recover what's lost. In a secret science shrine. Another grand mystery. And we retrace the steps of the star-crossed lovers while collecting the stamps and find the perfect place in Mizuna World to confess your feelings. Old Mizuna Brothels, Souvenir Shop, Mizuna Family Garden, Kamihama Museum of Art, Cultural Theater, something and something. A nice little story, a legend of the princess. Who were those characters? Those two fucking Ojo-samas. And why did they run towards Iroha, I assume? Or did they run towards Tsuruno? Like, I don't suppose they would know Iroha, because Iroha isn't from Kamihama City. So she, the Twin Tails, has to have some beef with Iroha, with Tsuruno. Are they actually mentioned anywhere? I think they are also magical girls. Manaka, the orange-haired one, and the blonde Twin Tails is Ria, tentatively. Not Felicia, I don't think. I think it's Ria. Okay, whatever. We haven't really met them, so it's no use thinking about it. And of course she met him, but it came with a price of killing everybody in town, apparently. But did her loved one actually come back? That is the question. Or was there another, like, monkey paw finger curling and he came back as a zombie? For example, there are stories and legends like that where the wish of getting someone back was actually granted, but they came back as some sort of an undead. I'm pretty sure, although don't quote me on that, Slavic mythology actually has the name for a demon that comes back that way because of the pleas of their loved ones. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I might be mistaking it for something else completely, but wouldn't surprise me if some mythology in the world had something like that, or if some stories about it actually existed. My whole life revolved around doing everything for her. This is an interesting clue, I think. Or is it? We know what Iroha's wish was. Iroha's wish was to make we better. Because with what she says here, we could try to say that perhaps Iroha was sick and tired of it and one day just shouted, "I wish you never existed. Because of you, I have no life and no friends. I have to spend all the time at a hospital taking care of you." Which is an understandable sentiment to have, and which could have prompted the wish to make we disappear, but we know that it wasn't Iroha's wish. So unless magical girls are allowed multiple wishes, it's another thing. But that kinda gives us a clue that perhaps the wish to disappear was Ui's own. Perhaps she saw herself as a burden and thought it would be better if I never existed. Right? Similar to my initial theory that, again, Ui was the one who made herself disappear, but because she wanted to undo Iroha's wish, essentially, but while she managed to undo herself, undoing a wish with another wish is not a thing, but perhaps, Ui saw herself as a burden and disappeared herself. Possible, plausible. Without Ui, my life feels empty. This is true. You'll first have to become skilled enough to handle the witches in Kamihama. I like the kind of a story we are building here. Now, sure, it's built for the purpose of the gacha game. Absolutely, it's very much a gacha game, right? Oh, you have to collect 15 MacGuffins to stop the world from getting destroyed. And every chapter in the game is you collecting another MacGuffin. And then after you've collected all of them, it turns out there is 17 heavenly kings that you have to kill in order to stave off the death of the universe. Or, stuff like that. Or perhaps each event that comes to the game has another thing. This is very similar, ultimately. Because we have all those different weird events, all those urban legends. And perhaps each chapter of the game deals with one such urban legend. Or perhaps it's, 2 chapters per legend, or maybe they come in events, whatever, doesn't matter. But it's a very gacha-esque storyline. But at the same time, it also really works for our show. Like, I'm not under the impression that, gacha, a story like that would never exist outside of a gacha. No, it absolutely would, and it absolutely makes sense here that they will be looking for different miraculous is not really the greatest word to use here, but different weird events, and hoping that perhaps one of them is what disappears people. And if so, we ourselves can get disappeared, get to that world, and save Ui. Because as it was said early on, I believe, yeah, all of the students who disappeared are back now. So we know that after dealing with a witch who causes a phenomenon, everybody who was whisked away by that phenomenon comes back. We have a goal. We have a possible, plausible goal that we can reach. It is a goal that fits the world. Ultimately, killing witches. That's what it boils down to, right? But it gives us another narrative. It's not just killing witches because we are magical girls and magical girls are supposed to fight witches. It's killing specific witches, hunting them actively because one of them might be keeping my sister hostage. It's cool. It's great. I like it. I really do. Closed. We are back at the shrine. I hope my mother is cured. I want to have a healthy child. I want to grow up to be a good person. Well, that's on you, my dude. That depends entirely on you. I should have told us soon. And it's a promotional day. Cherry tomatoes per pack. Something yen. Tuna. Shrimp. 78 yen for, what is it? Like bok choy or something. Probably. Points are worth 10 times. Limited time sale starts tonight. Ready-made meals 50% off. 100 yen off. Or 100 something off. Challenge the amazing deals. I was talking about that steak. I also bought it on a sale. It's great. Having a supermarket like right outside of your window, I can go there in flip-flops and home clothes and just buy myself a steak and it's no problem. It was 14 Polish zloty, which translates roughly to like 350, like literally 350 in US dollars, and it was a nice piece of loin, dry aged for 21 days. That's cheap for a dry aged steak. Now, sure, it had a lot of like, you know, imperfections and hard bits and pieces and some, you know, weird unchewable things, but ultimately that's what I would expect for this kind of a price. Regardless, let's continue. I thought that we will see Yachiyo's whatchamacallit, Gap Moe. That perhaps with every purchase there is this character, this mascot character as a keychain. If you buy a box of cereal, you can find that mascot character, or perhaps each box of cereal has a different mascot in it from the same series. Or maybe if you purchase food if you buy food, then for every 1,000 yen spent, you get a random keychain from the series or something like that. It's very common in anime for characters who seem like cold and unapproachable to have that gap moe in liking cute characters. And it usually breaks when there is some, you know, limited release of something, and they have to have this this item, this promotional character or whatever. But no. Scrivo solo pasta molto gustosa, ma ho bisogno di aiuto con il vocabolario. I don't think it says anything that makes any sort of a sense in Italian. No clue what scrivo is. Solo pasta molto. Single grain or something. Gustosa, like good. Mahou. I don't think Mahou are words in Italian. Bisogno di aiuto con il vocabolario. Vocabolario, I think, is vocabulary. It has the same base in, I don't know, Greek or Latin, probably. So I don't think it actually makes... Actually. Let me use Google Translate. I need to know. Translate Google.com. Detect language. What do we have here? Scrivo solo pasta molto gustosa, ma ho bisogno di aiuto con li vocabolario. I only write very tasty pasta, but I need help with the vocabulary. Okay. Okay, so the artist for this shot knew how to write about tasty pasta, but needed help with the vocabulary. Okay, that's great. I love it. Macaroni. Olive oil. There's olive and there's olive oil. Okay, that's cool. I love seeing like mistakes like that when Japanese animators and artists don't know some language but are tasked with writing a sentence in that language. There is that great. I don't want to go looking for it, but there is a great list. It's from some game, I think, where Japanese developers were making a sports game, and I think it was on like very early consoles, like think SNES and such, that around that era, Game Boy Advance maybe, and they were tasked with figuring out the names for different teams, and the USA team, the American team, had names like Hot Dog Joe and Hamburger Bob and other and other names like that. Look it up if you have the time, because you can really have a laugh looking at those. I always really like looking at things like that. And yes, we are in a witch's labyrinth. For a moment, when they... Macaroni on sale starting at 6 p.m. It sure does. Okay, where's that witchy person? There was that witchy person walking somewhere. To their customers, so they are exploiting that, of course. Whatever, I don't want to spend the time looking for that one particular scene. But there was that witchy person going around them, and I was confused for a moment. Are we in a witch's labyrinth? That's why the witches have no grief seeds, because they aren't real, because they are figments of a witch's labyrinth. Is this rebellion all over again? And Kamihama City is just one big witch labyrinth, or something along those lines. And because because in Rebellion, scenes like that with some witchy characters or animals or whatever were fairly commonplace. After Homura's demonization, there were also some witchy birds flying around. So it really made me think that we are either living in a post-Homura world, maybe, this is post-Rebellion, or maybe it is another case of a witch labyrinth. But no, Yachiyo notices that it is a witch, and they go to fight it, and it's a world of coupons. Chorus concert, 10th anniversary and whatnot. Pretty clothes, shopping baskets, flying shopping baskets, and that one weird, like, what's that called, that bone? Yeah, this bone. I said its name previously, but now I forgot. But yeah, this inside of the head. There's always an element like that to a witch, right? Always. It might look like a cute little plushie, and inside there's guts, or bones or something like that. It's cool. I like it. And here comes cavalry in the shape of Tsuruno, who fights with flaming fans. The mightiest magical girl, Tsuruno Yui. I feel robbed of her henshin, but maybe in the future, because right now her arrival was supposed to be a surprise, and if we were to get a whole ass henshin preceding that, it wouldn't really be the case. And now that it's getting darker outside, I need to adjust the gamma of my camera as well. I wish it was a little better at detecting exposure and whatnot, but alas. I guess it's not really the fault of my camera as much as the fault of me having a big fuck off window, and I'm all sweaty, I see. Big fuck off window in front of me so that whenever the sun is shining, it's super bright, and whenever sun isn't shining, it's super dark. So I have to record either at night or in the middle of the day so that lighting doesn't change. Whatever. Okay, so what is going on right now? Iroha touches Tsuruno. Some weird shit happens. Some negative light and whatnot. And then Tsuruno gets all fired up, screams, and flies into the ceiling. Is this Iroha's special power? Is that what it is? Is she like, like Knight from Precon, or Navigator from Alchemy Stars, in that they don't really fight themselves all that much, but their real strength is powering up others? I think that might be it. Iroha might be Princess Knight from Precon. Iroha is like Princess Knight from Precon. She empowers other Megukas. This tells me it's exactly the case. Because I don't think this is a matter of Tsuruno just not having control of her powers. Something happened with that, dark circle and flash and whatnot. Something happened, and it was Iroha's doing. Unless it is Tsuruno's power that she can suck out power from other Mahou Shoujos. But I don't think that is the case. I don't think that is the case. Maybe it would make sense in in a void, so to speak. If this show was in a complete void, it would make sense. Kinda, sorta. You can have some nice drama and tragedy about a magical girl who, to use very powerful attacks, needs to suck out power from her fellow magical girls. A parasite who is still very powerful in combat. She might be shunned by others, but perhaps she can team up with other magical girls who aren't that powerful, so their power doesn't really matter much. But if they can power up Tsuruno, Tsuruno can just solo the witches, right? There is some things to do about it, to do in that regard, but the story is based on a gacha. Iroha is the main character. I don't know who you play as in the gacha. I don't think there's like a male protagonist. It would be a travesty to have a male protagonist in a Madoka Magica series. I think Iroha is the protagonist. And if so, she needs to be special somehow. This is the way she can be special. This is the way she can be special. And yeah, her soul gem is not in a great shape, is it? She should really consider going back home, back to her home city, and hunting some easy witches with Kuroe, so that she can farm some grief seeds to clean up her gem. Because this is not going to last for a long time. Unless we are headed towards Iroha as a witch arc, which I don't think we are, but it's plausible, I guess. And yeah, timing matters. The princess went there during nighttime, so they of course need to go there during nighttime as well. It's nice to see that Juvie can also be seen by other people and not just Iroha. I was afraid that it would be the case of just her being able to see it, and then trying to convince everybody else that, listen, the juvenile Kyuubey told me what we need to do, but nobody believing her, as is usually the case in situations like that. But no, Juve can actually be seen by other people and was seen by Yachiyo. So worst comes to worst, Yachiyo can always corroborate Iroha's words about the Juve's involvement. I don't know what is written on all of them. Only one of them is translated, love and peace. The rest is... No, the one at the top says freedom. And besides that, they are wholly and entirely untranslated. If there is any interesting thing on them, let me know. If there isn't, well, don't. This is interesting. Will you write? Will you not write? Are you not going to see them? This is like that meme of Cheems like doing the hand grab towards the screen. This is the great effect, by the way. It's a normal human hand with a filter, and it's not moving or anything, just growing, sliding towards the screen. It's cool, it's great. It really like took me aback for a moment there. Interesting in that before, from what we've seen, it is only the people directly involved with the phenomenon who were then attacked by it or otherwise interacted with. When Rena wrote the words on the staircase, and then Kaede came in to apologize, they weren't all pulled into the world of witches. They weren't all attacked by witches. Kaede was just pulled in. In this case, though, despite Tsuruno not doing anything, just walking with them, not writing anything on her plate, that is the issue. Her not writing anything. You should write, you have to write, else you die. Interesting. Interesting how different it works. Also, what's the deal with this? I know, it's an inverted torii gate. Is there some particular symbolism about inverted torii gates? There has to be. Everything is a symbol of something in Japanese. Maybe not inverted, but upside down torii gate. There isn't anything about torii gates being upside down. Just about torii gates as torii gates. Okay. And they can indeed see their loved ones. Yachiyo can see Mifuyu. We know that Tsuruno would like to see Mifuyu as well. Because as Yachiyo said, you would likely write the same name, right? So she is probably their former friend, former member of their magical girl team who isn't with them for some reason. Perhaps dead, perhaps turned into a witch, perhaps disappeared. We don't know that. And of course, Ui. Is it the first time we get a full picture of Ui? Usually she has like a blacked out face. And the apple falls down. Almost as if the attachment was lost. You know, as if there was a phantom invisible half of the room all this time, and an invisible half of the apple, keeping it in place, but now it's disappeared fully. Is it Iroha losing her attachment? Oh, I have Ui now, so I no longer have attachment to that memory. I can let it go. Something along those lines? I'm not sure. It's not the past. There we go. I wonder... actually. There we go. That was episode 4 of Magia Record. And I wonder, as I said, Yachiyo is very prominent in the ending. So I wonder if she will be equally as prominent in the story in that Yachiyo, Tsuruno, and Iroha will have something to bond over, and that is missing their loved one. Iroha is missing Ui and is searching for Ui. Meanwhile, Yachiyo and Tsuruno miss Mifuyu. And is that why Yachiyo is already researching those phenomena? Because she wants to find Mifuyu? Is that it? Do their goals actually genuinely align? They are both, Iroha and Yachiyo, both are looking for someone. I think that might be it. They're not so different, her and her. Iroha and Yachiyo both are looking for a disappeared loved one. Ui and Mifuyu. That's probably it. And we now have the main cast pretty much established, I think. And they will all be looking for all sorts of different phenomena in hopes of, again, finding their loved ones. And perhaps if Iroha's power will get discovered, that she can empower other Megukas, if I'm correct about that theory, of course, that will also give them incentive to stick to Iroha. That will give everybody incentive to create a team around her, because she can make us stronger. I think everything is slowly falling into place. I think it is. Now that makes me wonder, when does the Magia Record series end as a whole? Is the 3rd season of Magia Record the final one, or is there more planned? I'm not sure, because that will change my outlook on it, depending on which is the case. So let me know if you know. But yeah. What I wanted to say is that we need to kind of take into account the story of the gacha game, and we know that it is still ongoing. So question is, did the first arc conclude and there was a Mifuyu and Ui banner eventually on, I know, the second anniversary or something like that, or Chinese New Year or whatever? And now a second arc of the story started, kind of like the case with Blue Archive, for example, where the story arc has concluded and now we are entering another story arc. Or is it still ongoing, in which case they will never find Ui and Mifuyu in the show. That said, Mifuyu is listed as one of the characters, I guess a little bit of a spoiler, so she at least has a spoken role. We can assume that she will speak in the dream, in this witch world. She will talk to Yachiyo, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think that's it. Genuinely. I like where it is going. I do. I was kind of, worried about this show potentially being aimless, mostly. Like, sure, we are looking for Iroha's sister, but we don't really have any leads. So it will be just episodic monster of the day, monster of the week, and we will kill one witch and another witch and another witch, and sometimes we will find some lead towards Ui, but then it turns out that it doesn't really lead us anywhere, and we keep spinning in circles like that. Perhaps meeting all those new characters every week. But no, it is not the case. We have an actual coherent plot right now. We have actual coherent storyline. We know where things will be going forwards. And I assume every episode, maybe roughly, we will deal with another phenomenon. Maybe not throughout the entire season. Probably not. But maybe for like 2-3 episodes or so. And right? Something is... We have a direction. We have a solid direction that we can go to. This episode was great. I really, really did enjoy myself. Probably the most significant and the best episode so far, honestly. Ultimately, not much has happened, but I guess because I was able to forge all sorts of those theories, I kinda supplied the happenings myself. It was cool. This episode can have potentially great implications, great ramifications, and I am looking forward to them. But right now, that's gonna be it, I think. If you guys have something to say, of course, please do say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to the Discord here and in the description as well. Other comments, go in the comments. As always, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Madoka Magica Magia Record, but also Hulk, Zom 100, Atelier Ryza, Undead Girl Murder Farce, Nanatsu no Makengashi Haisuru, and Ancient Magus Bride and others coming at you in the future. I also stream sometimes, I sometimes build Gunpla, sometimes play some gachas, so click the bell to be notified when I go live. Support the channel if you want, monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And if you don't want to spend any money, I'd already said that. So right now, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful patrons: Kyuubey without an ed, The Corporal Survivor, Yankai Jude, Tiruskirim, MZ, Rainer, Akamancer, Marsh, Fastel, Dr. Wood, Kiala, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without the need to find Ui.